Good evening, Rusk enjoyers. Hope you're doing alright, because it's time for Profit Review. Last week we discussed the final Halloween Rush Store of 2024, and that means today we're here to discuss the November Force Wipe Rush Store that happened on November 7. So sit back, relax, I'm going to start yapping. But before I do, understand some of you might be new to this, don't fully understand what the video is all about. Don't worry, I'll quickly explain. Basically, with every Rush Store that we see, I will return to it 4 weeks later just to see how everything turned out. Did everything match up to our expectations? And if not, I have to sit here and explain why. Also, with every Rush Store that we see, I'm always looking to find out what potentially might be a nice investment. So, of course, I would have done that, as you can see right here, investing predictions. Was I correct? Or, if I wasn't, you can hold me accountable. Alright then, so let's get started. Let's talk about my initial reaction when I first saw this Rush Store. So, no more Halloween skins, that was a plus. But also, no Black Diamond skin. Over the past few months with the Force Wipes, we were seeing them continuously being accepted. But okay, looks like that pattern finished. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm noticing no clothing and armour. Oh dear, what's going on? And, overall, and a lot of people did say it to me at the time, they weren't very impressed. But I was very aware of what was happening later on during this month. See, I was aware that we were going to have a complete the sets in November. I didn't know specifically, and I didn't know if it was going to be a 1 week or 2 week, but I knew it was going to happen. So, looking at a Rush Store like this, kind of tame, not too crazy, not too surprised. I was well aware that complete the sets tend to be very big and tend to get some very notable skin collection continuations. So, okay, we're going to be a little bit calm for the moment, but at some point during November, we'll see a very crazy Rush Store. Alright, cool. So looking at these skins particularly, we still saw some interesting collection continuations. Forest Raiders with a brand new deployable after locker skin. Very interesting to see. We have a small box. Greening area keeps continuing. We now have a sheet metal double door. How many sheet metal double door skins do we currently have at this specific point in time? In 2024 to be exact. Well, I'll talk more about that in a bit. Speed Rage turned into a collection with a Thompson skin. Harbour Sealed Door, huh? Well, after the success of The Rock, okay, maybe that could work out nicely. Or Suffer, like pretty much every single sheet in the door in 2024. Then we saw a very random but interesting counterpart to the I Am Friendly wooden door that was accepted back in 2021. We got the I Am Not Friendly wooden door. Okay, interesting. Another week we got 2 sheet metal doors. Titanium door, brand new potential collection. Minimalist design, metallic, but was it going to impress? Wasn't 100% sure. We got a perfectly fine grounded design with the Industry AK-47. Oasis collection continued with a large box. But this year we also saw quite a lot of large box skins being accepted. Was this going to suffer because of it? And then Deep Sea Star, a bit of a random skin to see, but it got accepted. So, alright. So, with all of these, as I said, what was I looking at and thinking was potentially be a very nice investment? So as I hop over to here, I do recall that instantly I was talking about the Forest Raider small box, because there's a very interesting detail that obviously wasn't like blatantly seen, but you could see it in one of the workshop page pictures. So if you were to go to like the second last picture, oh no, it's the third last, in the background, we could see that there was a furnace right there. Oh. And with, a brand new deployable skin being accepted, instantly we did see the locker skin getting bought out. That went up in price ever so nicely after dipping for a while. So, okay, another Forest Raider skin is accepted. Yes, it's another deployable. But so as long as this collection remains in demand, as time progresses, surely the likes of these 2 skins, these 2 deployable skins, would just go up in price by default. People want it. People like it. Yes, it's not clothing and armour, but it's associated with one of the most popular skin sets in the whole game. So, alright, it definitely had that going for it. But also the potential furnace at some point in the future. That definitely was something I was looking forward to. So there was something promising, hopefully going to happen, but I was also well aware that we weren't going to see any skin submissions on the workshop for a while because, of course, Complete the Sets was just around the corner. Okay, so, alright, it looked promising, it looked interesting, but I wanted to see how much it was going to sell. The Forest Raiders locker did almost 30,000 subscribers. Was the small box going to follow suit? We had to wait and see. Then, of course, with the other skins, I looked at the greening area sheet metal double door. At this specific point, we did get a lot of sheet metal double doors in 2024. But pretty much every single one of them was doing a very good job retaining value. Other than the recent Halloween sheet metal double doors. They actually started to drop off in price pretty quickly. Bit sad to see, but it happened. But yeah, up to this point, we had almost 20 skins accepted in total. So many more compared to previous years. So I was getting a little bit concerned. I also had to be aware of, well, next year, right? How many sheet metal double door skins might we potentially see in 2025? Because if it's the same amount as what we're seeing in 2024, that'd be a big concern. At some point, Like, there's going to be a breaking point. There's going to be too many. And also, if I can recall, around the exact same point, completely forgot about this, there was a batch of Twitch drops being given away. There was another sheet metal double door right there. At the very least, maybe it wouldn't sell too much. And with the success of greening area, potentially we'll see another deplorable skin being accepted fairly soon. Hey, we shall see. But okay, that was looking okay. But with all the other skins, well, it definitely started to get a bit questionable. So if I can recall a little bit more, I looked at the Harbour Seal sheet metal door. I thought, okay, the Rock, it sold very nicely. It was doing very nicely at the time specifically as well. Sorry, I lost my tongue there. It was selling for about $3.50. Now, of course, up by $1. Looked pretty, looked nice. Hopefully, maybe the sheet metal door, with its very cute demeanour, would work out nicely for it. But I was well aware of all the sheet metal doors that came out in 2024. At that time, like, only Ultramarine was in the positive. So things weren't exactly looking super great with any brand new sheet metal door that was going to get accepted in this year. Okay, right, we got the point across there. So I was hesitant. I still realised there was going to be potential problems. For a $2 sheet metal door, we had to be cautious. I then looked at the not friendly wooden door. Now, I definitely looked into this and thought immediately it's still going to go down in price. A smart barder would definitely be the way to go about it. But yes, was it going to potentially invigorate this collection of I am friendly or I am not friendly? As you can see, plenty of skins were submitted in the past, not all of them accepted. But would we see version 2s, version 3s, resubmissions, anything? Was it going to progress more? Was it going to progress with, like, I am not friendly garage doors and whatnot? Didn't know, but there's definitely a potential behind it. But wooden doors by default, they never really work out as investments. You take one quick look and you will see plenty of wooden doors, which over the past couple of years, next to none of them have basically gone up in price. Again, you'll notice that one, but that's still being manipulated to this day. So yeah, pretty much every single wooden door not holding up very nicely. Now, looking at the remaining skins, I then questioned the titanium sheet metal door. So yeah, its minimalist design was pretty interesting. I thought maybe people will appreciate it as time goes on. Maybe we see continuations. Maybe it might progress. But that was a matter of if. And unfortunately, we had to wait until when, because, no skins had been submitted at that specific time. Complete the sets was just around the corner. Okay, understood. And with everything I just said in regards to that sheet metal door there, it also applied to this as well. So, okay, not in the best of spots. Very likely it was just going to be a barter situation. I then looked at Oasis large box. I said this a little bit earlier. How many large box skins have we had accepted up to this point in 2024? Because I was like, And then at the same week, during the same week, I should clarify, sorry about that, we also had this pseudo complete the sets, pseudo neon storage. Technically, you could say complete the sets, because this kind of was a brand new neon storage skin made by the exact same skin creator with a very similar design, but for miscellaneous skins. So, of course, loads of people could pick that up for free. Was this even going to sell that much? And would it even have that much demand? Oasis, up to this point, wasn't exactly doing stupendously. So, okay, we'll leave it at that then. We'll wait and see how many sales it has by the next week. It was abnormal at the time. And then I looked at the weapon skins, all three of them. I didn't really have that much faith in them. I just looked at them and thought 60 cents to 80 cents. They didn't seem super stand out. I know what people's behaviour tends to be like, so yeah, bit of an awkward situation. Right then, so shall I now talk about the progression with the sales? So here we are, the first 24 hours of sales, and it was pretty tame compared to the recent Halloween skins, which sold quite a lot. These skins right here wasn't really moving that much, but interesting because this was nowhere near to comparing with the Forest Raiders locker. So, okay, small box, you're looking interesting. Harbour Seal door. You didn't look like you're going to be selling that much either. Like, these continuations they really weren't selling that much compared to the previous iterations of from the same collection and whatnot. So, all right then, interesting. Maybe things will definitely progress ever so nicely in the future, purely based on the fact that these skins wouldn't sell too much. But we had to wait out a little bit longer. Then we had the abnormal barders, which of course are right over onto this day specifically. So yeah, it was Wednesday night, the day before the Rust store rotated, and I looked at all the skins and I was pleasantly surprised with the sales that we were looking at. So let's talk about, the prices we were suggesting when we first looked at them. The Forest Raider small box, compared to the locker, that had sold half as much. And we were well aware there was a very good chance we're going to see a furnace skin potentially being introduced and submitted to the workshop at some point in the near future, which of course would likely mean, all right, maybe things would progress ever so nicely for the small box of the introduction of a brand new deplorable. When that small box was accepted, over the course of like the first few days of it, first initially appearing in the Rust store, the locker basically doubled in price almost. It went all the way up to and above $4. It didn't really stay there forever, but it definitely showed signs of, well, when a new deplorable is accepted for the Forest Raiders collection, it looks like the previous deplorables will likely spike in price. Will we actually see the furnace? Things were looking promising. So for a $2 skin, I was looking at it, I was questioning it, and I thought, things are lining up too perfectly. Forest Raider skins, by default, I just assumed would retain value ever so nicely. The interest in the collection surely would hold it up enough. So I went with $1.50 to $1.90. Yes, a very strong buy order, literally just 10 cents cheaper than the price that it's selling for in the Rust store. But it really did look like everything was going to line up perfectly. Well, we'll see how that progressed then. Then I looked at the greening era sheet metal double door, $2.49. I thought, well, you know what? I would be surprised if we potentially see another greening area deplorable skin potentially get accepted. Wasn't the most in-demand collection, and yet it kept getting acceptances. So maybe the stars would align for that. I looked at it and I went $1.50 to $2. I looked at the Harbour Seal sheet metal door, and I just didn't have enough faith in it, I'm afraid. I questioned it. I was very cautious. I'd suggested only doing 70 cents to $1. I was well aware that the rock sold ever so nicely. I was well aware that the rock went up in price ever so nicely. But sheet metal doors, very, very unreliable. We've had enough profit review videos, so I'm sure we probably get the idea of that by now. And yes, we saw the aftermath of many of those skins, didn't we? So yeah, Harbour Seal door, only 70 cents to $1, basically half the price. Then I looked at the not friendly wooden door, and again, wooden doors as investments. How often are you even using wooden doors? Where's the actual genuine demand to actually put skins on wooden doors? Very questionable. It was a $2.49 skin, and I suggested only 50 cents to 70 cents for a buy order. Yep. I then looked at the titanium door. It was interesting, but I couldn't trust the Harbour Seal door, and honestly, I just really couldn't trust the titanium door. It was fine for what it was. I respected it, but I just kind of considered how every other person who plays the game was going to consider looking at that door. And I just went with 50 cents to 70 cents. I really didn't have that much faith in it. Sorry to say, but I'm having to, reflect on what other people are likely going to, think about when they see these skins. I looked at the Oasis large box. Now, here's a very interesting detail. That was the lowest selling large box in all of 2024. Like, the second lowest up to this specific point had like 10,000 subscribers. But that Oasis large box right there, just under 6,000 subscribers. What happened? Well, I kind of said it earlier. During the same week these skins were available, the Twitch drops, there was a lot of very interesting skins being given away for free. People just probably didn't feel the need to want to buy these. Okay, understandable. And the Deep Sea SAR, which was selling for like $2.49, I went with 60 cents to 80 cents. Yeah. And then, of course, we had the two weapon skins here. They were not abnormal, but still 60 cents to 80 cents. Just didn't have that much faith. It is what it is. Right then, so those were the suggestions for the prices. Now, how did everything progress when we saw the next Rust store? So let's go ahead and look at the skins as of today. And you can see that, yeah, they really held up very nicely. So, we've obviously passed many weeks after this. We had to complete the sets. To my surprise, whilst we did see the submission of the Forest Raiders furnace, we never saw it being accepted. However, with like a week off from not submitting any skins because of complete the sets, and with Christmas basically just around the corner, Forest Raiders small box still is a candidate for like the end of December, the very last Rust store of 2024, and potentially the very first Rust store of 2025, the January Force Wipe. So, in the position it's currently in, yes, it has gone down in price. It's gone down to $1.81. Can things still, rebound and improve and potentially go up in price from here? I mean, yeah, of course. With the progression of the player counts we see over the past few months, like, I'm still rubbing my hands and just sitting here and waiting for January Force Wipe. January Force Wipe for 2025 is going to be January 2nd, the day after New Year's Day. There's going to be so many people with time off. Kids and people in education and whatnot, and I don't think people are going to be working too hard for like the first weekend of January. So I'm honestly thinking everything's lining up perfectly, where January is going to be absolutely very, very, very nice for people wanting to play Rust and for us invested in the skins. So I'm definitely in the position of, yeah, the price is basically smack dab in the middle of what I was suggesting, which is very nice. I hope you picked up some of these skins for a cheaper price and whatnot, but here's to seeing potentially that furnace being accepted and these skins rising up in price very nicely during the next few weeks. keep an eye on it. Let's see. Also take into account Christmas money, Oh, am I going to put it in my bank? No, I'm going to spend it on pixels. Right, so you get the idea. Cool. So let's see how this progresses from here. But it's stable, it's reasonable, and it can easily rise back up in price. Look at that. There's like next to no big fat walls. Perfectly fine. Then, of course, we have the greening area sheet metal double door. As you can see, it's actually done a very good job of retaining its value. So, yeah, it just behaved like every other sheet metal double door that came out this year, aside from the Halloween skins. Just retain value, do nicely, but I still stand by my point. Is there going to be some breaking point where far too many sheet metal double doors have been introduced, and then every brand new one that comes out probably just goes down in price, like every sheet metal door, like every garage door, most of the time? I'm sure you understand the thing I'm trying to bring up. So I worry about what's going to happen from 2025. Maybe Face Punch, takes a bit of a step back, doesn't accept so many. But as of now, it's doing okay, and as we enter January time, things could still progress ever so nicely. But the main thing that we had to point out was a large box was accepted literally the very next Rust door. Yep, that happened. So that went up in price by a fair bit, but then it went back down again gradually. So whilst it did spike up a fair bit, it did gradually go back down again. This seems to be the point where it's just kind of maintaining its price. So it's kind of sitting between $2.60 and $2.70. If you did like a $2 bar order, yeah, you probably might have picked up a few of these and potentially you could flip them for some decent profit. Maybe wait it out until January for a little bit longer, then you might get a little bit more profit. And who knows, maybe we'll see another greening area skin being accepted, because I'm well aware a rug was submitted somewhat recently. So could it be the last Rust door of December, or will it be the first Rust door of January? We shall see. Then I look at Speed Rage Thompson. I mean, it's actually not been that bad. It's kind of retained a decent amount of its price. But yeah, bit odd to me. We've only got a weapon only collection here. But I guess people do genuinely like the design of the Thompson. Which, okay, I'm not going to diss. I'm not going to say anything wrong with it. It's just Thompsons have been really unreliable over the past year or so. I questioned it too much. Maybe I relied too much in regards to other people's opinions and behaviour around them. But right now, as you can see, these Thompsons are actually having a bit of a rebound. They're actually starting to go up in price. So, yeah, maybe this just followed suit. Maybe it was more of a case of it didn't sell too much, the design was reasonably okay, and yeah, maybe it just did better because there's just next to nothing there. Wow, there's only 20 listings. So my suggestion was 60 cents to 80 cents. I played it safe, but you know what? At the end of the day, there's enough people that liked it, and there's hardly anyone that bought it, so therefore, for sheer lack of listings, the price has actually improved ever so nicely. It's still down in price, but it's not the end of the world. It's gone down by a little bit. So, okay, there you go. I will sit here and say I was wrong in that regard. Played it too safe. Harbour Seal Sheet Metal Door. Well then, yeah, that basically matched up to the expectations. So yeah, it's just basically at $1.24. My price suggestion was 70 cents to $1. You can see the highest price by order is currently sitting there, 83 cents. So yeah, it's looking like it basically went straight, smack dab in the middle of what we were suggesting. Now hopefully it does, improve its price, goes up a fair bit more. But will it happen? I have seen some more Harbour Seal skins. You probably saw it just a little bit earlier. We have seen a hammer skin being produced. The skin creators are sticking with it. They are still intending to make more skins for this collection. But I do remember Capybara collection. Remember how it got 2 or 3 skins accepted and then that's it, no more. So will that happen with this? Or will we actually, see the skin creators commit to it, keep producing more skins, and we see them being accepted? Because that would definitely help out the sheet metal door. But as expected, like most sheet metal doors this year, well, pretty much every single one, they've all gone down in price. But you might only sit there and say, it only went down by about 40%. Well, yeah, sure. But my suggestion with the price seems to be smack dab perfect. So, okay, cool. Let's move on and talk about the not friendly wooden door. So not friendly wooden door, yeah, it went down in price as expected, and we didn't see any continuations being produced. So as you can look with the bar orders, highest price bar order is 90 cents, lowest listing price is 95 cents. Yeah, that doesn't look like it's got that much demand. Sorry to see, but yeah, or sad to see, but I'm sorry to say it, that's what I might say. But yeah, 50 cents to 70 cents was my suggestion. Honestly, I think you probably would have bought at least a few. And of course, if you really wanted to, you could sell them to the highest price buy orders. There seems to be at least a little bit of demand, as you can see, but price, yeah, I guess the goofiness of the joke probably held it up to a reasonable point, but it really doesn't look like it's going to climb up anytime soon. More skins being produced would be nice for it, but again, it didn't happen, so guess we'll just have to wait for 2025. All right, well, yeah, my price suggestion seemed to be the right way to go about it, playing it safe. Then we have Titanium Door. Now, I did see more titanium skins being produced. They weren't accepted, of course, unfortunately. But with what we're looking at, I suggested just staying with 50 cents to 70 cents. Well, initially people did do that. But again, I think this is a case of people just simply weren't listing theirs on the Steam market that much. So as you can see, the buy orders have slowly crept upwards a little bit more and more and more and more and more. So I will sit here and say I was wrong, played it a little bit too safe, but this did progress to this point. It slowly climbed up and now it sits here at $1.40. Still went down in price, but of course, yeah, will it even get continuations? Will it ever go back up to $2.49? Well, if we can answer one of those things, we'll probably be able to figure out the answer for the other one. So, again, just to reiterate, yes, we did see more titanium skins being produced. It's a matter of, will they actually be accepted? We shall see. Again, December, January, there's still more regular Rust stores where these skins could still appear. So it would very much help out that industry. AK-47, as expected, it went down to less than $1. Very unfortunate. And I do recall so many people telling me, Hedge. The only listings for this AK are like $100. Why is it worth $100? No. Just because someone listed something at a price doesn't mean it's worth that price. I had so many people message me about that. And guess what? As time progressed and people who own these skins realised there wasn't really that much demand, eventually the price went down because, no one was buying. All right? So remember that. If you see a listing for an absurdly high price, what matters is, are people actually buying it? That's what matters. So that industry AK-47 matched up to expectation. The 60 cent to 80 cent barter was the way to go about it. Cool. Then we had Oasis large box, and can't be surprised, I thought that would actually do a fair bit better, because I went with $1 to $1.50, and lo and behold, it went down in price. What? The skin that sold hardly anything this year? Yep, that's what happened. But more specifically, as you look at this, you might notice there's only 19 listings. The price is $1.42. The highest barter is now $1.07. I do believe what happened was, whilst we had our barters initially, people who own these actually sold them to the highest barters, and at one point I bought like 8 of them, and I looked at the barters and looked at the last listings, and they're too similar to each other, so I removed my barter, and I'm thinking a lot of other people did the same. So now it's kind of sitting at the price where the barters were, before, and the barters have gone down clearly, but it's sitting at the same price the barters were buying them for, so it's now not moving. But again, no more like listings appearing because it sold hardly anything. There's not many of these in circulation. So if we do see another Oasis deplorable skin being produced and accepted, would it potentially cause this to spike up in price? Well, I'll just reassure you, if you thought, oh no, I missed out on this, Oasis collection's been a bit quiet. When we had the garage door, when we saw the sheet metal door being accepted, that didn't really budge that much. Actually, no, I do recall it went up by like 50 cents to $1 for a while, lasted for 2 days, then went back down in price again. And then when we saw this being accepted, these two didn't even move. These two did not even move. So I'm not sure what could happen next, but I don't think this is a super invested into and super in demand collection. I like it. I think the eye and the glow in the dark of these skins looks very impressive, but it just doesn't have any demand. It's quite sad to see, but yeah. The skin that sold the absolute lowest in this year, unfortunately, still even then went down by $1 and potentially might go lower. We shall see. So, oh dear. And then we have Deep Sea SAR. It's selling at $1, as expected. 60 cents to 80 cents. With these types of weapon skins, it's expected and it happens and it keeps happening. So, yeah, there you go. Expectations were pretty straightforward and the outcomes were pretty straightforward as well. Certain things obviously were a little bit different, but as we progress towards January, we should start to see skins improve in price. Demand should be there, but unfortunately with certain skins, there never really was demand, and improvement probably won't even happen. Sorry to say, but it happens. So yes, over 100,000 average player counts so far with December. Will it hold? Well, of course, do not forget we still have the Christmas update, so that'll happen about halfway through the month. And of course, towards the end of this month, we will see kids going out of school, people not working as much. So yes, that's when it starts to begin. And then post-Christmas, the Christmas money, the time off, how many people will be playing. Oh, we shall see. But yeah, everything's lining up very nicely at the moment. We just need to see prices improve a little bit more so. We are seeing it slowly, but most likely it will kick off around the January time. And with these skins over here, hopefully they do improve, and we actually do see even more collection continuations actually being accepted. So next week is the November 14 Rustore. Get a good look at that. Some interesting skin collection continuations, but another small Rustore, because of course that wasn't complete the sets. Right then, so we'll be talking about that next week. I hope you're looking forward to it. And I will sit here and say thank you to everyone who watched this video today. I greatly appreciate it. Did you invest into any of these skins? Did you buy any of them? Feel free to comment below. I'd greatly appreciate reading the comments. And with that, thank you very much for watching me. Catch you later. See you, goodbye.